The same place, the same walk, but one or two important differences. And leading out the Manchester United team, Dave Sexton, who's taken over in the summer from Tommy Docherty, while in the Liverpool lineup, Ken Dalglish, the man who this week cost the European champions a British record transfer fee of £440,000 from Celtic. Liverpool have made 4 changes from the side which played in the FA Cup final here. Phil Thompson back in defence in place of Tommy Smith. Dalglish, of course, replaces Keegan at number 7. Ian Callaghan starts the match this time in preference to David Johnson. And a surprise at number 9, where Steve Highway was left out as a precaution fairly late in the day with a recurring back injury, and David Fairclough gets his chance there. In fact, Highway is among the 5 substitutes that Liverpool have named, and so too is Alan Hansen, their other new signing from Partick Thistle. Manchester United able to field the side which won the Cup. Their 5 substitutes are Paddy Roach, David McCreary, Alex Forsyth, Chris McGrath and the young Irishman Ashley Grimes. Ken Dalglish, who last played here as recently as June the 4th, when he scored one of Scotland's goals in the 2-1 victory over England in the Home International Championship. Louis Edwards, the chairman of Manchester United, talking to the Honourable Mr. Angus Ogilvie, and on the bench, again, this good spirit between the two clubs that we saw in the Cup final. Bob Paisley sharing a joke there with Tommy Kavanagh, the Manchester United coach with the white hair. Manchester United to kick off, playing from right to left in the first half. Lou Macari. Buchan. Arthur Alveston. Phil Neal for Liverpool. First time for 20 years that the 2 FA Cup final teams have met again in the Charity Shield. And back in 1957, it was Manchester United involved again against Aston Villa. Ian Callaghan for Liverpool. Hughes. Phil Thompson. Terry McDermott wearing the number 10 today, looking for Fairclough. Jimmy Case in well. Good tackle by Buchan. Callaghan. Offside, Joey Jones. Martin Buchan, who marshalled United superbly in the FA Cup final. Hughes slipped there, and Pearson on a run, and he's got past Thompson. He's got Hill in the middle, coming in far post. That was a good break by Pearson. Hughes slipped, which caused it really, but then Pearson's pace too much for Thompson, and Hill having to take it first time was too high. They've seen it all before. Liverpool are playing, in fact, in the 8th Charity Shield in their history. This is Case. Now Fairclough. Dalglish is in the middle. And Kennedy coming in as well, and Stepney was a little lucky. Callaghan. McDermott. Good save. And this match has started at a cracking pace. Excitement at both ends already. McDermott, the scorer of the goal of the season last year, letting one go, and Stepney responding well. That was Kennedy's header. Free kick in Macari's favour. Well, any suggestions that this might be played as a practice match have been completely wiped out in the first 5 minutes. Albiston. Oh, Callaghan that was. McDermott now, looking for Fairclough. Callaghan in support again. Dalglish. Beautifully played by Greenough to Pearson. Koppel. That was McElroy. As Kesa was brought down. Whistle went a long time ago for a free kick to Liverpool. There's Kennedy. Oh, good ball. Dalglish nearly in there. He may still be. Fairclough. Beautifully controlled by Jimmy Greenough. And Callaghan already very much into his stride. And the through ball looking for Dalglish, who is already a very ready target. And Hughes comes clattering into Pearson. Two England players there, both on the tour of South America in the summer. Free kick to be taken by Brian Greenough, Jimmy's brother. Dalglish finding McDermott, Liverpool breaking well. This is Case. And Dalglish again. Thompson. Case and Dalglish combining. Dalglish. Kennedy. Fairclough. Use of the arms there by Phil Thompson in Greenoff's back. Ian Callaghan at 35, starting yet another season at Anfield and already very much involved in this match. Play by Buchan. Here's Dalglish. Every touch of his will be eagerly watched by the Liverpool fans. The man who's been bought to replace the man some people said was irreplaceable, Kevin Keegan. Jimmy Greenoff. Hill. McIlroy. Beautiful cross and McCarry came in. Superb move by United. From the moment the first ball was struck by Jimmy Greenoff out to Hill. Enterprising football with McIlroy making a run down the left. And when the cross came, it was beautifully crossed by McIlroy on the turn. It was McCarry who went full length and the ball into the side netting. McIlroy. United finding their men so sweetly. This is McCarry. Augustin. Pearson there just gave Jones a knock in the back as they went up with the ball. It was well spotted by Keith Styles. Another good ball from Callaghan. Now Kennedy. McDermott's made a run through. Dalglish is there too. And here's McDermott, who might have done better if he'd realised just how much time and room he had. There was no defender around when Dalglish knocked the ball back in, and McDermott got no power in the header. Kennedy. McIlroy's all over the place. Race between Jimmy Greenoff and Clements has come a long way here. And Phil Thompson trying to ward Greenoff off. Clements coming out, they collided with him. And he'll need some attention here from Tommy Kavanagh. I think it was Thompson with whom Greenoff collided as they both went to play the ball. But Clements, not having very much confidence there in Thompson's ability to clear the ball, came out a good 25 yards. And that's bad news for United. Jimmy Greenoff, who made a tremendous start to this match, being helped off by Tommy Kavanagh and Keith Styles. So United temporarily are down to 10 men. intercepted by Callaghan. Good touch from Fairclough to Dalglish. Now Kennedy, good running by McDermott. What a fine move by Liverpool. The signs look good for Jimmy Greenoff. Listen to the reception. Greenoff still hobbling, though. If he can't run that off, I think he may well have to go off. He's tried it, and he signalled to the bench, and I think that's the last we may see of Jimmy Greenoff. David McCreary, the substitute, is waiting to come on behind the goal. And it may, in fact, have to go back to the halfway line as the rules lay down before he can come on. This is Macari. Orbiston. Foul by Pearson. Might also have been offside as well, but he certainly elbowed Phil Thompson. David McCreary waiting to come on. So a sad start to the season for Jimmy Greenoff, who looked in such good form until that collision. David McCreary, who's come on as the substitute in the last two FA Cup finals for Gordon Hill. So his third Wembley appearance in that role. Linesman's flagging for a foul. Away by McElroy, and here's McCreary. He's got Gordon Hill in the centre and Coppell as well. What a spirited run by McCreary, half the length of the field, shaking off two challenges. But I think the referee may well have blown his whistle earlier in the move, because when he made the break initially, he was certainly impeded by the second Liverpool player, and I'm wondering if Keith Styles' whistle went and nobody heard it. Here's Coppell. Macari. Loves to do that. Phil Neal for Liverpool. Dalglish, lovely dummy, Fairclough, and now Case. There are two on the far post, one is unmarked at the moment, McDermott. Here's Neal. Gordon Hill. There's Case. What a developing player he was last season, Jimmy Case. Kennedy to Callaghan. Joey Jones is wide. Case at the near post. Dalglish in there, he may score! And he'd done the hardest part, because Dalglish there making something out of very little, but then getting underneath the shot. Here's Callaghan for Liverpool. Again, they've got Jones up on that side. And Koppel doing some useful work in defence. Here he is again, Macari. Lovely ball to Pearson. And he's beaten Hughes. McCreary is in the centre. And here comes Hill and McElroy. That attack initiated, as indeed the first one was, by the strong running of the England centre-forward Stuart Pearson out on the right. Case was in there so fast. He robbed two men and then almost beat two before he was brought down. Oh, look at the flick from Pearson to McCreary. Great stuff. And McCreary's pace against Hughes. And Hughes holding back surely. The linesman is flagging and the referee has waved it aside. But the linesman, having already flagged, then put it down. And there's a moment of controversy. Because from here it really looked as though Emlyn Hughes may have used his arms to hold back McCreary. And I saw the linesman flag. But somehow or other that flag didn't stay up for long and couldn't have been seen by the referee. Here's Callaghan. Case. On the far post, Kennedy. Jones. Certainly the pace of little McCreary, which is his strength, was too much there for the England defender. You can hear what the Manchester United supporters think about it. There's the unlucky Jimmy Greenough making his way to the tunnel. Every ball that Callaghan has played has found its target. Here's Neil in the attack. Young Arthur Albiston, who came into the cup final team for the injured Stuart Houston. Indeed, the news of Houston, for any supporters that may not know, he's within a month now of playing again. Houston, who broke his leg so unfortunately towards the end of last season. Here's Kennedy, and he hit Dalglish, and here's Dalglish again. Fairclough, Case, Dalglish. Well, sort that lot out. Dalglish, the man involved 3 times. First because Kennedy's powerful shot struck his own player, who was Dalglish, and then Liverpool's new signing twice more in that attack, coming close to putting them in front. Koppel. Just coming up to the end of the first half. Some time being added on for the stoppage over the Jimmy Greenough injury. Pearson against Hughes. And Hughes hasn't found it an easy battle to win this afternoon, and Phil Thompson it was who covered for him. Is Koppel. Albiston's chip. Well, rather like the FA Cup final, it's 0-0 at half-time, but it's difficult to find a player anywhere who's not playing well. The ovation the teams get as they leave the field speaks for a fine half. Stuart Pearson in imaginative form up front for Manchester United. And on the Liverpool side, the ageless Ian Callaghan already settling into his stride at the start of the new season. Perhaps the biggest talking point for the Manchester United fans was McCreary fouled by Hughes in that incident. Liverpool to start the second half, the league and European champions. Indeed, the cup winners have only beaten the league champions 3 times in this Charity Shield in the last 25 matches in the post-war period. Although the Charity Shield's been going since 1908, and the first winners were Manchester United. I think the rain that we had this morning might be returning. It's gone very grey overhead. McCreary was in there on Callaghan, and Callaghan was penalised. Jimmy Nicholl. This is Kennedy. Dalglish got into some useful positions in the first half, the new signing. And there's a useful position as well, found by McDermott. What a great try! Oh! That would have been a classic goal. No wonder he screws his face up. Terry McDermott, who ran 40 yards into space, lobbed the goalkeeper magnificently, and it came back off the post. Koppel. Macari to Pearson. And now Kennedy for Liverpool. We've got players breaking here from midfield. This is Jimmy Case. McDermott to his right, and there are 3 red shirts in the centre. Fairclough's turn. And that says everything about David Fairclough. He can have a quiet game and then produce something inside the penalty area, quick and decisive like that. Defence is pushed out for an offside. Brian Greenough to Alveston. McElroy's found some room down the left, but was intercepted. Hughes. Dalglish turned that in well. Good ball from Case to Fairclough. Dalglish read Nicholl's intentions there and followed through a little on Stepney, perhaps. McCreary. That was brilliant! Case. Those floated balls across to the far post are aimed at Ray Kennedy, who likes to get forward on that left-hand side. The tallest of Liverpool's front six players. And indeed in the cup final, you'll recall, he hit the post with a header from roughly that position. There's Steve Coppell. Apart from one or two early flashes, the United wingers have been fairly well held by Liverpool. Jones stuck with that well. Waiting for the player to come from the near post. High kicking, that goes down as dangerous play when the foot's that high. Indirect free kick to Manchester United. Here's McIlroy, Orbiston, and now Hill. Things don't seem to come off at Wembley for Gordon Hill somehow. Well won by McIlroy. That's a corner off McDermott. Brian Greenough going up. This is Hill. Pearson! Good save! It was a good chance for Pearson, who was close in, but Clements got down well. And he did well to hold it too, a greasy ball. And there's no doubt that he is England's number one. Callaghan for Liverpool. Macari. And Phil Neal slipped there. And this is Hill. McCreary's calling on the far post. Macari back again to Hill. Oh, good header out. Emlyn Hughes it was, saving Liverpool there. Cross looked measured for Pearson. And the game warms up again, and so do the crowd. Dalglish. McDermott. And now Fairclough. Kennedy's made a good run into the box. Each side so swift to turn defence into attack. McCreary. What a battle between McCreary and Hughes. This time the free kick's gone to Liverpool, although McCreary is still probably thinking in the first half he might have had a penalty. Hence the whistles of the United fans. Here's Callaghan. Robbed by Macari, who then was beaten in turn by Kennedy. Phil Neal joins the attack and finds Dalglish. McIlroy making useful ground, now Gordon Hill. Four other United players up in this attack. Here's McIlroy again. And there are three in the middle. If only it could have come across. Instead, Liverpool will break with Hughes. McDermott. Case. Callaghan. Hughes still inside the penalty area. And it's his header back to McDermott. Not so often these days that Evelyn Hughes can take chances by going right into the attack as he did when he was a midfield player, but certainly popping up in a useful position there. A record attendance for the Charity Shield at Wembley, 82,000, and they paid receipts of £195,000, and that's also a record. The atmosphere now very humid, and there'll be players feeling the pace out there as we come into the last 5 or 6 minutes of the match. First half registered a tremendous speed. Pearson, that was Hill. Didn't middle it properly. Pearson. And Alveston made the run. Chased the tackle. Only 5 minutes left, and if it stays at 0-0, the Charity Shield will be shared by the two clubs. They'll hold it for 6 months each. No extra time today. It's Macari. Again, United have got plenty of players forward, but Liverpool, predictably, pull most of theirs back. Oh, McCreary! And Evelyn Hughes was caught. The pressure was coming on him from Koppel, but it was McCreary who had the shooting chance. Chance for Pearson, but Clements is so quick. A fine piece of goalkeeping. Just goes to show that goalkeepers of his standard have to keep their concentration. Pearson would have been clean through, but Clements playing the part of an extra defender. McElroy. Oh, and the referee's collided with a player and gone down. Now McElroy again. Keith Styles is back on his feet, but he collided with Gordon Hill, and both of them went down, and in fact Hill is still down. Offside. Flag was up against McCreary. Just under 3 minutes to go. Tommy Kavanagh going to give Stuart Pearson some attention, which is not strictly allowed while the game's going on. Pearson back in action now, and it is a charity shield, so nobody's going to be too concerned. Here's Kennedy. Callaghan. And Pearson back in the game. Hill. Can either side snatch a winner in the last couple of minutes? McElroy. Joe Jones. Strong running again by McDermott in the middle of the field. And here's Fairclough. Callaghan. It was Fairclough's cross. Dalglish's header. Coming now into the last minute of normal time, and there won't be very much time to add on in the second half for injuries. Hill. Now it's Buchan coming forward. He's got Coppell out wide on the right. This is Nicol. Now it's Coppell. 4 white shirts waiting in the middle. Beautifully taken. And Buchan will have to hurry back into defence now. Foul by McElroy on McDermott. The 90 minutes is up, and it's now just a question of what Keith Styles adds on for stoppages. Kennedy's header. Pearson. Brian Greenough. McElroy. Well, it can be truly said again that neither side deserved to lose. No goals, but a fine match in many ways, especially the first half. And if the players didn't quite sustain that pace throughout the second half, well, the crowd certainly made up for it. Another good occasion between these two famous clubs, played in a good spirit, and safe to say that both Liverpool and Manchester United will be teams to watch this coming season. Well, this hasn't happened in the Charity Shield at Wembley before. The two captains going up together, Emlyn Hughes and Martin Buchan. When Liverpool played here in '74 against Leeds and drew, it was decided on penalties, but that's not a very satisfactory way of settling this sort of match, so it's going to be shared now. And the Honourable Mr. Angus Ogilvie to present the shield to the two captains. And that gesture saying an awful lot, not just about this match, but about the FA Cup final as well, because these two sides now have produced two excellent matches at Wembley, and it's impossible to say that either deserved to win this one, because there was so much good football from both Liverpool and Manchester